BS Zoology, 3rd semester, final term. Today we are going to discuss about the class Crustacean, phylum Arthropoda. Lecture is delivered by Shabana Ali. As we have discussed before in our introduction lecture that crustaceans are mostly aquatic, head with two pairs of antennae, one pair of mandibles and two pair of maxillae. They have biramous appendages. The animal includes in these groups are crabs, lobster, crayfish, shrimps, shrimp like krill, isopods and amphipods. If we want to discuss about the structure of crustaceans, then body of a crustacean is divided into two regions. A sphelothorax is derived from developmental fusion of a sensory and feeding tegma, that is known as head, with a locomotor tegma, and locomotor tegma is the thorax. The exoskeleton of the sphelothorax extends laterally and ventrally to form a shield-like carapace. The abdomen is locomotory and visceral in functions, and in crustaceans takes the form of a muscular tail. Paired appendages are present in both body regions. The first two pairs of sphelothoracic appendages are the first and second antennae. The third through fifth pairs of appendages are associated with the mouth. During crustacean evolution, the third pair of appendages become modified into chewing or grinding structure, that is called mandibles. The fourth and fifth pairs of appendages, called maxillae, are for food handling. Second maxilla bears a gill and a thin blade-like structure called a scaphogathite or gill bailer for circulating water over the gills. Sixth through the eighth sphelothoracic appendages are called maxillipids and are derived from the thoracic tegma. They are accessory, sensory and food handling appendages. The last two pairs of maxillipids also bear gills. Appendages 9 to 13 are thoracic appendages. These are called periopods. Periopods are walking legs. The first periopod known as the calliped. Calliped is enlarged and chelate. Chelate, it is just like pincher-like and used in defense and capturing food. All but the last pair of appendages of the abdomen are called peliopods. Peliopods are for swimming and used for swimmers. In females, developing eggs attach to peliopods and the embryos are brooded until after hatching. In males, the first two pairs of peliopods are modified into gonopods. Gonopods are claspers and used for sperm transfer during copulation. Here, the most unique characteristic of crustaceans have telsons. The abdomen ends in a median extension. It is called telson. The telson bears the anus and is flanked on either side by flattened biramous appendages of the last segment. Biramus appendages means when appendages have two main parts. These last segments are called uropores. The telson and uropores make an effective flipper-like structure that is used in swimming and in escape responses. All crustacean appendages except the first antennae have presumably evolved from an ancestral biramus form, as evidenced by their embryological development, in which they arise as simple two-branch structure. First antennae develop as uniramus appendages and later acquire the branched form. The crayfish and their close relatives are unique in having branched first antennae. Structures such as the biramus appendages of crustaceans, whose form is based on a common ancestral pattern and that have similar development in the segments of an animal, are said to be serially homologous. Now we have feeding and digestive mechanism of crustaceans. Crustaceans prey upon other invertebrates, eat plant matter and scavengers dead and dying animals. The foregut includes an enlarged stomach, part of which is specialized for grinding. A digestive gland secretes digestive enzymes and absorbs products of digestion. Midgut is often called the intestine. A short hindgut ends in an anus and is important in water and salt regulation. After discussing feeding and digestive mechanism, digestive system, now we have respiratory systems. In respiratory system, gills are the important one. The gills of a crustacean attach to the bases of some cephalothoracic appendages. Gills are in a branchial chamber, the space between the carapace and the lateral body wall. The beating of the sphygmomatoid of the second maxilla drives water entirely through the branchial chamber. Oxygen and carbon dioxide are exchanged between blood and water across the gill surfaces, and a respiratory pigment, hemocyanin, carries oxygen in blood plasma. After respiratory system, we have circulatory system for discussion. Circulation in crustacean is similar to that of most arthropods. Dorsal, anterior and posterior arteries lead away from a muscular heart. Branches of these vessels empty into sinuses of the hemocoel. Blood returning to the heart collects in a ventral sinuses and enters the gills before returning to the pericardial sinus, which surrounds the heart. Crustacean nervous system. Crustacean nervous system show trends similar to those in annelids and arachnids. Primitively, the ventral nervous system is ladder-like. Higher crustaceans show a tendency towards centralization and cephalization. Crustaceans have supraesophageal and subosophageal ganglia that receive sensory input from receptors in the head and control the head appendages. The ventral nerves and segmental ganglia fuse, and giant neurons in the ventral nerve cord function in escape responses. When nerve impulses are conducted posteriorly along giant nerve fibers of a crustacean, powerful abdominal flexor muscles of the abdomen contract alternately with weaker extensor muscles, causing the abdomen to flex and then extends. For reflection, propulsive strokes, and for extension, recovery strokes will be required. The telson and uropores form a paddle-like tail that propels the crustacean posteriorly. Now we have sensory structure. The sensory structures: compound eyes, simple eyes, stetocyst, chemoreceptors, proprioceptors, and tactile setae. Chemical receptors are widely distributed over the appendages and the head. Many of the setae covering the mouthparts and antennae are chemoreceptors used in sampling food and detecting pheromones. Pheromones are those hormones which attract the partners. A single pair of stetocysts is at the basis of the first antennae. Stetocyst is a pit-like invagination of the exoskeleton that contains setae and a group of cemented sand grains called a statolith. Crustaceans move the stetocyst and displace setae. Stetocysts provide information regarding movement, orientation with respect to the pull of gravity and vibration of the substrate. Because the stetocyst is cuticular, it is replaced with each molt. Sand is incorporated into the stetocyst when the crustacean is buried in sand. Other receptors involved with equilibrium, balance, and positions senses are tactile receptors on the appendages and at joints. When a crustacean is crawling or resting, stretch receptors at the joints are stimulated. Crustaceans detect tilting from changing patterns of stimulation. These widely distributed receptors are important to crustaceans that lay stetocysts. Crustaceans have compound eyes mounted on movable eye stalk. The lens system consists of 25 to 14,000 individual receptors called ommatidia. Larval crustaceans have a single median photoreceptors consisting of a few sensilla. These simple eyes, called ocelli, allow larval crustaceans to orient towards or away from the light, but do not form images. Many larvae are planktonic and use their ocelli to orient towards surface waters. After discussing nervous and sensory organs, now we have Endocrine system in case of crustaceans. Endocrine system of a crustacean controls functions such as ecdysis, sex determination, and color change. In crustaceans, endocrine functions are closely tied to nervous function. Nervous tissue that produce and release hormones are called neurosecretory tissues. X organs are neurosecretory tissues in the eye stalk of crustacean. Associated with each X organ is a sinus gland that accumulates and releases the secretion of the X organ. Other glands, called Y organs, are not directly associated with nervous tissues. They are near the basis of the maxillae. Both the X organ and the Y organ control ecdysis. The X organ produces mold inhibiting hormones and the sinus gland releases it. The target of this hormone is the Y organ. As long as mold inhibiting hormone is present, the Y organ in inactive condition. Certain conditions prevent the release of mold inhibiting hormones. When this condition exists, the Y organ releases ecdysone hormone leading to molting. These certain conditions are often complex and species specific. They include factors such as nutritional state, temperature, and photoperiod. Androgenic glands in the sphelothorax of males mediate and other endocrine functions. Female possesses rudiments of these glands during development, but the glands never mature. Normally, androgenic hormones promotes the development of testes and male characteristics such as gonopods. Hormones probably also regulate the development of female brooding structures in response to ovarian hormones. The seasonal regulation of ovarian functions and the regulation of heart rate and body color changes by eye stalk hormones. Now we are going to discuss about the excretory system. Excretory organs of crustaceans are called antennal glands, green glands, because they are at the basis of the second antennae and are green in living crustaceans. In other crustaceans, they are called maxillary glands because they are at the basis of the second maxillae. They are structurally similar to the coxal glands of arachnids and presumably had a common evolutionary origin. Excretory products formed by the filtration of blood, ions, sugars, amino acids are reabsorbed in the tubule before the diluted urine is excreted. Ammonia is the primary excretory production of glands. Ammonia also diffuses across thin parts of the exoskeleton. All freshwater crustaceans face a continual influx of freshwater and loss of ions. Gill surfaces are also important in osmoregulation. Osmoregulation is the maintenance of water amount, or we can say gain or loss of water through the body. Now we have last but not the least metabolic function, reproduction. Crayfish and all other crustaceans except the barnacles are dioecious. Gonads are in the dorsal portion of the thorax and gonoducts open at the base of the third in case of female or fifth in case of male periopause. Mating occurs just after a female has molted. The male turns the female onto her back and deposits non-flagellated sperm near the openings of the female gonoducts. Fertilization occurs after copulation. As the eggs are shed, the eggs are sticky and securely fastened to the female's periopause. Fanning movements of the periopause over the eggs keep the eggs aerated. The development of embryo is direct. With young hatching as miniature adults, many other crustaceans have a planktonic, free-swimming larva called a nauplius. In some, the nauplius develops into a miniature adults. Crabs and their relatives have a second larva stage called zoea. When all adult features are present except sexual maturity, the immature is called post-larva. Now, I think you understood all these points concerned to class crustacean of phylum Arthropoda. Now, thanks for joining and watching.